Be with your breath, be with your energy, be with that true self. Breath is our guru. Our breath is our guide. Let us just follow our breath to just know a little bit more about our own self. With each and every breath, we are in complete alignment in our body, mind, and soul. Feel that oneness. Feel that energy inside you. our thoughts, our words, and our deeds are all aligned to our true being. We are that oneness. We are that wholeness. Be with your breath. We are all in a no thought state by just following our breath. Be with your breath. We enjoy our breath. We become one with our breath. We travel with our breath. Travel with that deep silence inside of you. Continue to observe your breath. Last 2 minutes. Continue to observe your breath. We are in meditation. We are in silence. We are with our beautiful energies. Just continue to observe your breath. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now, gently place both your hands on your eyes for a few seconds and open your eyes whenever you're ready with that most beautiful smile on your face. Thank you all. I welcome you all once again for this wonderful session by Master Pradeep Vijay by Pyramid Valley International. I now welcome our Master Pradeep Vijay to take over the session and go a little bit deep about our own ego and how to just overcome it. Welcome, Master.
Thank you, Anandaji. Namaste to everyone. So we have discussed and tried to
I'm not able to
understand.
hear you, Master.
Is it better? Can you hear me?
Good.
Yes. Yes, others are able to hear. All right. So we are discussing about ego, and we are integrating. We are trying to understand. Today also we'll continue to integrate it. We'll try to understand about ego, because this is the final layer. When you let go of the ego, you are enlightened. And before that, the plan is today is a full moon, so meditate as much as possible whenever you find free time. In this self-transformation series, we are more into practicals. We are experimenting. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow, and Sunday being an equinox. Equinox means the day and the night are on equal time. So you get solstice, equinox. So these are the days where they are a little more cosmic energy, more powerful days. Solstice, equinox, full moon days, eclipse, solar eclipse, lunar eclipse. So these days you get more cosmic energy. So these are the days we should utilize to do more meditation. So Saturday and Sunday, we will be experimenting more on mindfulness, silence. Try to be in Mauna for 2 days. Experiment and see how your emotions are flaring up. See how your thought patterns, notice your thought patterns. It's a great emotional detox. So Saturday, Sunday, we won't be discussing the theoretical subjects, but we'll be focusing more deeply on meditation and on our experiment on mindfulness, mainly mindfulness, silence, and I hope you're also practicing detox, where you're focusing on drinking more water and eating 1 or 2 times a day. Take more fruits, more salads, more juices, less cooked food. So this will be the weekend plan, and we'll continue today with integration of what we have discussed so far with ego. Once again, ego is a feeling of your own self-created identity. And the attributes of ego are nothing but ignorance and arrogance. And we are not here to condemn the ego. Ego, we use when you are an infant soul, baby soul, young soul, mature soul. Through this ego, we have experienced a lot of things. Now, when you have entered into a whole soul stage, when the question arises, who am I? Who am I? That real identity. So when that question starts, you have to drop all your false identities. So this is the process of enlightenment. So from the time the question starts, who am I? Until the time you discover who you really are, that is the enlightenment journey. And we would have seen that how our childhood is very, very important, because every child is born innocent. Every child until the age of 5 doesn't have ego, it doesn't have any identities, because it is so complete, it is so connected with the whole of the creation. So only enlightened people and a child, they both are happy. The rest of the people are not happy. The happiness comes and goes, but they are not happy all the time. It's because of the ego. So the more layers of ego you drop, the more you are happy in your life. The more there is a freedom, mukti, freedom from suffering. Because you are no more influenced with the external situations. Your joy radiates from within. Your happiness radiates from within. It happens very naturally, organically. It is like this, a room is full of darkness. You want the darkness to go away, then don't fight with the darkness. Bring the light in. The moment you bring the light, the darkness has no place. Similarly, when we understand that the egos are our false identities, when you consciously drop it, then naturally what remains with you is the real you. And in this process, when you are working on this process, you might go through a lot of tears. You might be very emotional, but that's fine, because it's the tears of joy. It's the tears of joy that for so many lifetimes you have carried these identities and you have suffered. For the first time you realized and you are willing to let go. So it is the joy of your own enlightenment. It comes in the form of tears. You will be sitting and meditating, suddenly tears come. You'll be practicing mindfulness, suddenly tears come. You are in the nature, suddenly the tears comes. That's fine. It is good. So let us integrate more about ego and how important it is. The children are taken care of. And we are not here to blame our parents. We are not here to blame the society, because they are the victims of their own past. So we have compassion. We have understanding that our parents have done their best. So we are not here to judge them. But what we can do to our children, that matters. Spiritual parenting is not about you attending some workshops, spiritual retreats, workshops of how to be a spiritual parents. And then you are taking notes and then you are raising your children like that. Spiritual parenting is not about you reading books and trying to become good parents. That is not spiritual parenting. Spiritual parenting means you live a spiritual life. As parents, when you live a spiritual life, then children automatically they learn from seeing you. When you live an authentic life, we spoke a lot about authenticity. Authenticity is not being truthful to others. Authenticity is being truthful to yourself. So when the parents start living an authentic life, then the child gets inspiration. The child naturally is authentic by birth. So the child will continue its authenticity because the children, they learn from the parents. They learn from what the parents do. The children never learn from what the parents say. The children always learn from what the parents do. So when the parents themselves meditate, when the parents themselves try to work on their ego, try to remove the layers and layers of their false identities. When the parents are connected to the truth, that is the greatest gift you can give it to your children. That is spiritual parenting. You are letting the child to be authentic. You respect the child's wishes. You respect the child's soul plan. So only parents who are in the path of meditation, who are consciously working on their self-transformation, only they are eligible to go through spiritual parenting. So it's never late. You can always start from today. Past is past. Today is in our hands. And also we discussed about subtle egos, what we call it as spiritual egos. Sometimes you feel identified with yourself that I'm a spiritual person. That is also a spiritual ego, very subtle. So you need a greater degree of awareness. Sometimes it is a little funny that people in the path of spirituality, they identify themselves with that. And they say, oh, I'm here to heal the Mother Earth. I'm here to activate the earth grids. I am the meditation teacher. I've been meditating for so many years. I'm a senior master. So that I, that's the identity. I am. Sometimes you might see the people saying, I am the CEO of the company. I am the executive director. No, you are not. That is not your identity. You are working as a CEO. So rather, a person who is conscious of his identity, he would say, I'm working as a CEO. I'm working as an executive director. So that's just a role. That's not you. And going through the social responsibilities, motherhood, fatherhood, you will not say, I am the mother of two child. No, that's not your identity. The children have come through you and you are going through the motherhood experience. Okay. So when you're able to see that that is not your true identity, whatever you are going through is your experience, but that is not you. So when you're able to detach yourself and able to witness that you are real you, the real identity is not what you do. It's not what you identify with the social responsibilities or your talents and skills. I'm a great player. I'm a musician. I'm an artist. No, you're not identifying with your talents and you're not identifying with your body. You're not identified with the qualifications, your job. So when you are able to witness in a detachment, then you are peeling off the layers by layers by layers. And then once you are ready, then the ego residue starts peeling off from all the lifetimes, what all the identities you had from all the lifetimes, the subtle identities, that also gets peeled off. Naturally, what remains is your core. It's you, the realization. It's not so easy, but it's inevitable. Every human has to go through this. Once you are born on the planet Earth, you have to go through this journey, or else there is no completion. You have to be born again and again. You are stuck in the life and death cycle. It takes lifetimes. Definitely takes lifetimes for people. But it is possible. You can let go of it in one lifetime also, if you are sincere. If you are sincere, you can let go of it in one lifetime. With the right attitude, the right practices. When you are absolutely sincere that you want to know the truth, and there is a lot of fire inside you that I want to know the truth at any cost, and you are self-disciplined and you are sincere, you are regularly meditating, and you are practicing mindfulness, and you are in the path of the truth, you are in the path of ahimsa, and you learn from all the people, you're always open-minded, you always learn from others. You're always, any experience in your life, your focus is, what can I learn from it? That should be your attitude. Whatever the experience in your life, any challenging experience, any bitter experience, you become a witness to that experience, and your focus is, what can I learn from it? If you're having this kind of attitude, then enlightenment comes to you. You don't need to search for enlightenment. All right, friends. So today, yesterday, there were a few questions left. So people who want to ask questions, people who want to share their experience, please raise your hands. And we will quickly integrate whatever possible. And today will be the final integration of ego. So we have done ego 1, ego 2, ego 3, 3 days. Today, let us integrate. Okay. So there is a gentleman raising the hand in the video. Mr. Harohalli. Yes, sir. You need to raise the hand through the digital, but you can unmute. Mr. Harohalli, you can unmute. And click on the unmute button. Probably he doesn't know how to unmute. That's all right. So we go with.
I am Balwinder Singh.
Yes, sir.
I am a victim of ego in my young years. When I was young, during my working hours, I was very much egoist. But now, since I am doing this meditation, I have improved. I have transformed myself, and I am keeping cool. And my nature is also, a lot of changes are there. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Past is past. You are no more a victim. Don't feel victimized. You are a realized person now. You have realized certain aspects of your false identities. More to come. Be open for it. Next. Mahesh ji.
I am Mahesh Patel from New Jersey. Pranam to you. Thank you very much for this great session, a great understanding of a very difficult subject, ego. My question is related to a very recent incident, last 3-4 days, relating to superiority complex and inferiority complex. May I relate this incident so that you can understand my query?
Can you be short and precise, sir?
Yes.
Yes.
This person has a very high superiority complex. Mindfulness at its peak, successful in each and every aspects of life. And the mother-in-law passes away in India on a visit to India in a very, very short notice of cancer. The husband leaves immediately because they wanted to bring her back. And the wife of this lady wanted to follow, booked the ticket. On the day of her leaving, the father-in-law says, "You can't come." And then the total superiority complex broke into pieces. Passive aggressiveness, self-sacrificing, because it was a matter of manipulated authority over her, self-sacrificing and narcissism. So my question is, it's a contradictory. A superiority individual having certain traces of inferiority complex. I really want to understand this because it's part of the family, this incident.
I understand. So this is the nature of the ego. So ego is a feeling, right? So your feelings are not standard all the time. Your feelings varies, no? Like it's a sine wave. The feelings goes up and down. So ego goes to the extremes. Sometimes like a pendulum, it goes to this extreme and then it goes to this extreme. So the ego shuffles between the inferiority complex and the superiority complex. It shuffles between both. But a person who has inferiority complex most of the time, we call him inferiority complex. A person who is having superiority complex most of the time, we call him superior complex. But generally, it swings between both. It is relative. Superiority complex is relative. Like you feel superior to what? So there is something to compare, right? So for example, you are a millionaire and your neighborhood is not so rich. So you feel great. You feel, wow, superior about it. I have achieved something. But then when you see billionaires, you feel inferior. So it is relative. So there are certain moments where you feel great about your achievements, and there are certain moments you feel very inferior. So it is very natural that people go through superiority and inferiority complexes, both.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So that's why it's a problem. You have to come out of both. It will be a bit interesting. People who are inferior, when they start working on it, before they can let go of it, they swing to the other end first. They have to exhibit and release their superiority complex. And then they will be noticed, all these while I felt I'm superior, then why I'm becoming suddenly aggressive, suddenly authoritative? Because it's both are part of the same ego. Okay. Most of the people, they assume that egoistic means always superiority complex. No, egoistic also means that you're having inferiority complex. Ego simply means you feel what you feel towards your false identity. The inferiority complex is also a false identity, and you have a certain feelings about it. The feeling is the ego. Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Next question. Mona.
Hello, Pradeep ji. Namaste.
Yes, madam.
Yeah,
Yes, madam.
this is Mona again from Malaysia. All right. You mentioned that ego is a feeling about our own self-created identity. Right. What about when, let's say that you dress up well, and then you want to look presentable. Like ladies normally we want to look good. We put up some makeup, and you want to look good. You want to feel good. Is there anything connected to ego?
You are dressing well. You want to make sure you are presentable. That's all fine, as long as you're not attached to it. If you see, I'm beautiful, when you dress up well and you want others to appreciate you, you keep on asking others, oh, is my dress nice? Am I looking good today? Or if somebody says you're looking very beautiful today, you feel so happy. And if somebody says, oh, you don't have much of a dressing style, I think you're a little old fashioned. If somebody comments, oh, I think you're a little old fashioned, then you feel hurt. As long as your feelings are vulnerable to others' opinions, you are stuck in the ego. But rather, you want to wear clean clothes, you want to be presentable, and you are doing it for your joy, and you're not identified with it. And somebody comments, you have a smile, say thank you. And somebody has a negative comment, you'll say, oh, thank you. Because you're not affected by it. Because you're never identified with your body in the first place. You are never identified with your clothes in your first place. You got the difference. See, you can be a CEO of a company. You can be a millionaire. But as long as you're not identified with it, as long as you're not affected by the external situations, then it is okay. Right. You got it?
Got it. Got it. Thank you so much.
It's a very subtle. It's very subtle actually. Why you want to dress up in a certain way? That is the question.
Hey, you got it.
I think you have to mute him. All right. You got it, Mona?
Yes, yes, got it, Master.
Yes, thank you. All right. So next, Vamshi Ratna.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Actually, I had a couple of questions. One is like
Where are you
answered
from,
already.
madam? Please
Yeah,
introduce yourself.
I'm sorry. I'm Vamshi from Hyderabad. And actually, I was about to ask you regarding this, the same question you have answered before. Like, is it possible for the same person to have superiority complex and inferiority complex at the same time? Not at the same time, exactly. It's in presence of some other person.
You can have it at the same time also. Simultaneously happening.
Okay.
You can have it
That
also.
is more complex, I think.
Yeah, so that,
Simultaneously.
yes, it is very subtle.
And actually, I got it answered from your
Okay,
answer.
good.
And the second question is like, I'm surrounded by people who are like, whom I have thought like they are ego free.
They are
And
egoistic or ego free?
Ego free.
Okay.
It felt to me like they don't have any kind of ego and all. But then I could sense this spiritual ego
Within you or with them?
within them. Within them.
Okay. So that affects you.
Very badly.
So there's something to look inwards. Okay. So you have to thank them that they are triggering your ego. One person's ego triggers another person's ego.
Is it really possible?
What is really possible?
One person's ego triggering the other person's ego.
It's a fact.
Okay.
When you are stuck in an ego, when you come across another egoistic person, that triggers your ego. Because ego is nothing but feelings, right? So your feelings are transmutable. So what you feel, it transmutes because it's a feeling, frequency. Now, when somebody is having a lot of spiritual ego and they're feeling very great about themselves, they're feeling very special about themselves, and that feelings comes and hits you. And you might be feeling great, or you might be feeling low. So that troubles you. As long as you are with your own false identity, the external ego troubles you. Okay. You see, even in the marriage relationships, if one partner is superior complex and the other partner is inferior complex, they gel very well. Whatever the husband says, the wife will be very happy. The wife will feel it is the duty of the wife to listen to the husband. Right? So the wife will be very happy about it. But if the wife is also having superiority complex, then the clashes come. Who are you to say? If you have desires, I also have desires. So then both superiority complex clashes. So even in the relationship, any relationship, friendship or when you're in your colleagues or any relationship, only when there is a clash for the first time, you feel the pain. When there is no clash, then it's fine. Both are happy in the superior inferiority complex. Because the inferiority complex, they feel victimized. They always like to follow. They can be easily manipulated. And the superiority complex people, they like to manipulate. So the person who likes to manipulate attracts the person. The person who likes to manipulate attracts the person who gets easily manipulated. This is how it works. Frequency attracts frequency. So whenever you are going through that pain, in your case, you're saying, I'm surrounded by people who appear to be that they don't have ego, but they're a lot of spiritual ego. I mean, for me, there is no differentiation. Spiritual ego means subtle ego. That's all. Still, they are feeling special. Still, they have a lot of inferior, superior complexes. Now, when you come across those people and you are feeling sad, you are feeling painful, It is not you who is feeling pain. It is your ego which is feeling pain. Because you have created certain identities and that identities are getting shattered. It feels pain. So whenever you are feeling pain, you tell yourself, it is not me feeling pain, it is my ego feeling pain. Let it feel pain so that it will shatter one day. Okay? So you don't need to be bothered about it. You thank all the people who trigger your ego. They're helping you, provided you are consciously working on yourself, provided you are ready for transformation. Thank everybody. In fact, the very role of a guru is to break your ego. The very role of a master is to break your ego. Okay. So all the people who are helping to break your ego are your teachers. Thank them. Right. Next question. Kushbu Dakshini. Unmute.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Good morning. This is Khushbu Dakshini from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Actually, my question is about ego only, and it's related very much to my personal life. Actually, I got married last December 2020. After 4 months itself, I had major issues with my in-laws, and there was no support from my partner. So I left and I came back. I thought things will get sorted out as time will pass, but I don't see any solution. I don't see any hope. And there is only initiative from my side. I don't see a single initiative from my husband. I'm here since last 9 months, but not a single time he has initiated to message me, not given a call, not even tried to meet me, because I got married at Anand, and Anand only 1 hour distance from Ahmedabad. But not even he has tried to meet me that, just let's meet and let's just discuss what's the problem. Just we'll try to come to a solution. Whatever efforts is I have made. I've not seen a single time he has initiated, not a single time. How it is possible? I mean, how can a person change after getting married, after being 4 months with his wife? How can a person change? Marriage is between 2 people. The relationship is between 2 people. Only one person here is taking the initiative, giving the efforts. Why is it that so? And
Okay.
I tried everything.
Okay.
And
Understood.
so,
Understood where you're coming from. See, you're so much focused on the other person, but why are you not focusing on yourself? Why don't you take the initiative? Why don't you go to that shortest distance? And why don't you be in the heart space first? See, when you are in the heart space, it triggers the other person also to be in the heart space. And first of all, I have to answer the question, why did you attract that person in the first place? Who attracted it? Somebody forced upon you? No, you attracted that person. Of course, unconsciously you are attracted, but why? There is a reason. Frequency attracts frequency. Why you have attracted such arrogance as a partner? Because you also have the same arrogance. Frequency attracts frequency. When you change from inner, you can see the change from the outer. This is the problem in all the relationships. They don't take responsibility. They always blame others. I'm such a nice person. They feel they are a nice person because their parents always said they are a nice person. So they have this identity. I'm a nice person because my parents always said I'm a sweet girl. I'm a nice girl. My friends and colleagues always said I'm a nice girl. I'm an understanding girl. I'm a sensitive girl. So you have this identity.
yes,
And you
very
feel you
truly
are
said.
sensitive. And then the real test comes in your relationship. Intimate relationships are litmus test. And you try to blame others. Actually, I'm a very nice person. I'm a very sensitive person. I'm a very understanding person. My partner is not understanding. The blame game starts. This is the ego.
But sir, only I'm making efforts. There is no
Yeah,
not
you
been
assume only you are making efforts, right? So the answer is look within. Look within. There is no smoke without fire. You have attracted you are in a certain relationship. You have attracted that relationship because there is something for you to learn. So go inwards, focus on the lessons to learn. Do more meditation. If you want solution, stop all the blame games. First of all, you stop the blame game. Do more meditation. Become a better witness. That will help you to handle the relationship in a better way, taking responsibility. You going and telling your husband, yes, there is a mistake on my part as well. I'm also equally responsible for this situation. Let us sit and let us sort it out. And I really love you. I want to be in this relationship and I'm very authentic about it. Let us work together. If you speak from your heart, then every man is ready to be in that space.
Sir, I already tried. I had
Yes,
cried a lot.
you already tried, but it is not enough. It is not enough.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
told
saying.
him sorry also. I told him to meet also, but he
See, you
talked in a
saying
very
sorry
negative
from a
approach.
space of ego doesn't make any difference. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to be authentic in your heart space. Okay, I'm not here as a marriage counselor. This is a spiritual session where we are discussing about ego. And it's not so easy. I'm saying it takes lifetimes for the people to look into their ego. So what I'm trying to say is go within, meditate. You are equally responsible for whatever the situation you are in. That is the truth.
But sir, he is only showing
There
me
is no but. There is no but. Truth is truth. Thank you. Next question. Seema?
Good morning, sir.
Yes, madam. Good morning.
I am Sima Khokle from Nagpur.
Yes,
Sir,
go
I
ahead.
feel always fortunate with you, sir. Sir, from 3 days, I don't want to do anything, don't want to speak anyone, want to know myself, discover myself. I am crying also many times, but I can't understand what to do and how to discover myself.
Sorry, come again with your question. You don't know what to do?
How to discover myself, what to do to
That is
discover
what
myself.
that is what we've been discussing in this season. Be sincere, do everyday meditation. Doesn't happen overnight. You have to be patient. You have to have a lot of patience. Do the right thing. Try to bring in more light.
Okay, sir.
Do more meditation every day. Read a lot of spiritual books. Practice mindfulness. Practice silence. That's all. This is what we have discussed, and you are asking the question what to do. It's a little bit funny.
Okay.
All right. So that means you want a quick solution. You want a shortcut. Okay, maybe the answer I should give is, okay, you come to my ashram. All your problems will be taken care of. Maybe you're expecting that kind of an answer. But no, I won't give that answer. Appo Deepo Bhava. Only you can help yourself. Next, Pandirajan.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Sir, I have 3 questions.
Three questions, one by one, sir. Where are you from?
I am Pandirajan from Chennai.
Okay.
Sir, regarding the guided meditation, initially I was comfortable with the music and guidance, but now I am getting a lot of disturbance. I am unable to do the meditation, and I am finding very difficult. My first
Guided meditation is only for beginners. Once you know how to do meditation, guided meditation is only for the people who don't know how to do meditation. So they need guidance for 1 or 2 meditation sessions.
Okay.
But once you know how to do meditation, you don't need guided meditation. And in fact, you should not get involved yourself. You should not become dependent on any guided meditations. Spirituality is all about having the freedom, having the independence. You should guide yourself in meditation.
Okay, thank you, sir. My next question is regarding the ego. See, I'm practicing meditation since 1994. I was in heartful meditation. I was initially doing the heartfulness. Now, from September in this year, I have last year, I have joined in this and I feel it is very good, the mindfulness. But I feel that I am like old soul or evolved soul. I can assess myself. Now, where to start dropping the ego now?
Where to start?
Dropping the ego. Is it the right time? Because ego is very useful for the young soul and old soul also. But after evolving, after attaining or reaching the evolved soul, how to drop it?
If you have the quest, to know the truth, if you have the quest to know who you are, what you are, that is the time you have to let go of all your false identities.
Okay. Right, sir. Now, my third question is, I was in Air Force, so I was non-vegetarian. After leaving the service, I joined in the meditation group and I left all non-vegetarian food for about 20 years. But immediately my medical problem started because the hemoglobin level has dropped very low. And after checking up in the medical the report, they have prescribed, they have not prescribed any medicine, but they recommended for the non-vegetarian food again, because the B12 level was very low. So
we all come across all those.
now
we come across all those things. So go with the question, sir.
that is my question. How to come out of this non-vegetarian and
See, when you go to ignorant people, they will give you the solutions which are ignorant and untruthful. So don't take the opinions of the people who don't know themselves. See, the doctors, they study only atoms and molecules. They don't know prana. They don't know life force energy. The doctors themselves admit that they don't know many things. So these B12s, these vitamins, and if you're concerned about it, then you have to take the examples of how the yogis in Himalayas, they are living for hundreds of years. And how the people who are living on prana, there are more than thousands and thousands of people. There are more than 20,000 people on the planet Earth who are living only on prana, breath. So they don't take any food at all. What happened? What about the vitamins for them? Where do they get it? So this is the subtle science. So whenever you are eating any food, and when you're consciously, mindfully eating that this food is going to nourish me, so that very thought will enrich what all you need for your physical body. It's all psychosomatic. Okay.
Okay.
So that should not be the reason for you to go into the ahimsa. Then you are going the backward direction. You see, you don't know something is wrong and you do that act, that is still a bad karma for you. What you give comes back to you. But you know something is wrong and you still do it, then the intensity of the karma is very high. You have to pay severe consequences. Once you know that something is wrong and you're still doing it for any XYZ reason, the mind always tries to manipulate. Okay. So don't get into it.
Because I am not really interested in that. But
you understood, you got the answer.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
So next, Anil. And for the people who raise their hands, please come on your videos. People who are on the videos, they will be unmuted.
Very good morning to you, sir. We are, my wife, Mrs. Usha and Anil, attending the program since the first session onwards from Mannar in Alappuzha district of Kerala. Our humble prostrations before the Master and all the members of this team. Rather than asking a question, I want to share an experience. We are 4 persons residing at home, along with our nonagenarian mother and our daughter, aged 25 years. With my wife going to office daily except on Sundays and myself retired from service since last May, I am forced to clean our household utensils after lunch as my daughter dislikes the work. Previously, I used to curse myself for doing the cleaning work as I was not at peace with washing and cleaning utensils. After practicing mindfulness, now I understand the joy of godliness in cleaning process, and I am at peace with the daily chorus of cleaning willfully and in happiness. Thank you team once again, and with prostrations before the divine Guru in the Master, I'm signing out. Thank you, sir. That was just a narration of my experience of overcoming an ego. Thank you.
Thanks for your beautiful expression. Okay. Ramya.
Hello, I'm Ramya from New Jersey. I have 2 questions regarding ego, both related to ego. So one is about the superiority feeling with respect to ego. So sometimes when we accomplish something, we feel good about our accomplishment. Is that a good aspect? That's my first question. Is that okay to feel accomplished? I mean, we don't expect somebody else to praise, but at least to yourself, to ourselves, we feel good about what we did today, what I achieved, I learned something. So is that a good progress to keep to have that feeling of achievement for ourselves to grow to a higher stage in whatever we are in our life, with career or with something else or hobby, anything?
It's always good to feel good about yourself. This is fundamental. It's always good to feel good about yourself, because whatever you are perfect, you are good. So it's always good to feel good about them. That's not ego. But when you expect others to acknowledge it, or you are feeling good about it, for example, you have done a very good presentation and you feel very good about it, that feeling good is perfectly fine. But one of the participants or one of your colleagues or your boss says, I think you could have improved a little bit. It's not up to the mark. When you hear that comment and then you feel bad, then that means there's something wrong, because your external is influencing your inner joy.
Correct.
Irrespective of outside comments or outside influences, you simply feel good that you have done your best. This is perfect. This is karma yoga. Karma yoga means do your best and leave the rest.
Okay. So I have the second question. So perfect, sir. You actually, the second question is an answer from you. The second question is, when I feel bad about some the feedback, so isn't that I have to take it as a stepping point to reach to a better place, even though it pulls my ego down with my inferiority feeling, but shouldn't I take it as a plus to move forward with my good inputs the next time?
Okay, so somebody is giving a feedback. You can just consider the feedback without feeling bad about it. Oh, how come they're given this feedback? I've done such a nice presentation. How come? So you don't need to feel bad, but you can incorporate. Feedback is feedback. So you can incorporate the feedback without feeling sad about it. So ego, once again, ego is what you feel about your own self-created identities, your own self-created self, which is your false self. You got it? So whenever you go through a situation where somebody is praising you, you are not, inflating your ego. When somebody is criticizing you, you are not deflated. Your ego is not inflated, deflated because somebody says something. You feel good that you have done your best. You, at that given moment, you have done your best. And that's all. If somebody appreciates you, say thank you. If somebody gives you feedback, comments, say thank you. Somebody criticizes you, you say thank you. So what? It doesn't affect you because you have done your best and you're not identified with your work. See, when you got identified with that work, then you are stuck in that ego, but you are not identified with that. It's a simple, you are simply witnessing. It's part of your work. You have done your best. That's it. And you are enjoying that very moment. So the joy which comes to you is not from the praises and the comments from outside. The joy which comes to you is when, while doing that work, while doing that presentation, while doing that seminar, the whole process is joyful for you. And you are least bothered about outside opinions. So that means you are a karma yogi. So that means you are out of ego.
Okay, but based on the feedback, so if I want to improve myself, that's still a good stepping process, or do I keep myself inferior because of I'm trying to take that feedback and try to move forward? But is that a good progress, that what we are trying to do, or is that the inferiority complex that's forcing me to get to the next level of working harder?
Don't assume only inferiority complex people will take the feedback. No, a person with a good self-esteem, a person with a really good self-esteem is in a very balanced place, and what all is needed for the betterment, he will take it happily. That is a positive ego. That is a healthy ego. As I said, we all have ego, but we have to educate it. So when you have a healthy self-esteem, then you are not bothered by it. You're not upset by it. You just incorporate what is needed. That's all.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, don't assume that somebody is telling you, and if you listen, oh, I'm inferior complex. No, you are shuffling between inferior and superior there. Somebody says something and it's a valid point, you take it with a smile on your face. Okay. Next, Himanshu.
Good morning, Master.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I have a problem with not being able to make decisions. It's
where
like,
are you from, sir?
Ahmedabad.
Ahmedabad. Okay.
So what is happening is, if I'm waiting for something, like some kind of a thing to happen to me, once it for the next step, once it happens, I'm just not able to take the next step. So it's what can we do about not being able to take a decision? And my second question is that the current job that I am into, it is just, I'm not kind of liking it, and it's just too much for me. I mean, I just go there, and so I become very sensitive to sound, I believe, once I'm in the office.
First, do meditation, sir. You need a lot of meditation.
Right,
do
sir.
sincere meditation every day. Only you can help yourself. When you do meditation, you know what to do, what not to do. So the answer for your questions is do sincere meditation, and you will be naturally guided from within.
Okay, sir. And just to add to one more thing, what I had observed.
So first you do meditation first, and then in this sequence, in this 21 days, you sincerely meditate. You sincerely practice mindfulness. You practice the silence 1 day per week or 2 days per week, and be sincere about your own self-transformation. And then I expect you to ask me the question again later towards the end of the second week or the third week. I will definitely answer.
Can I just ask one more thing?
No. First you meditate, and then I'll answer your question. I will definitely answer your question in this sequence, but first you be sincere and meditate. Yes. Next. Deepa.
Hello. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, madam. Go ahead.
Hello. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me opportunity. I want to share my experience first, and then I have one question. Sir,
I think, madam, your signals are weak. I can't hear you. Can you check your network and come back again? We'll take your question. So next, Adit Agarwal.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Good morning. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, Adit, go for it.
Sir, very, very good morning and much gratitude to you. Sir, I am Adit Agarwal. I am from Delhi. And many of my questions are already answered in your previous session. But one question still remains, sir, from yesterday's teaching. You taught about the residual ego. So you taught also that, residual ego is mostly for the superiority complex because, it is good to carry that kind of a feeling from the previous birth when you're a king or warrior or a minister. So still you said that 90% of people are suffering from an inferiority complex. So is this a residual ego or is it cultivated in this lifetime?
No, residual ego. Residual ego means the ego which is coming from the past lives. It can be either superior or inferior. Ego means it is either a superiority complex or an inferiority complex. Okay, so it's not necessary only your superiority complex comes as a residual ego. Sometimes you have taken many lifetimes as a victim. For example, you are a slave, or you are financially not well, or you're always dominated by others, and you are powerless in many lifetimes. So that becomes your identity. So in this lifetime, even though you are born in a well-to-do family, you always feel, you are a victim, because that is coming from the past lives. Even though you have all the tools to make yourself more you can manifest whatever you want. You have all the tools in this lifetime, but still you have very low confidence on yourself. Your confidence is very, very low.
But
So that
why
is
the soul
again the
carries
residual.
Negative ego from the past lifetime when it is not a good experience?
Because the soul has identified with it. See, ego is nothing but what you feel about your own self-created identity. The soul has created that kind of an identity. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not beautiful. I'm not worthy for love. The soul has created that kind of identities. Then it carries forward to the next lifetime. So it is your own self-created identity. You're clear, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And sir, one more thing, sir. I was always wondering, we came here to learn the lessons, and all the situations, all the people, every instance in our life is here to teach our lessons, and which is already planned by our soul, and it is in soul contracts. So sometimes I don't really understand that if this situation has come, what it is going to teach me. Any example, like disease, relationships, or financial, whatever. How to understand that what it is going to teach me?
That's why you need a lot of meditation. You need a lot of witnessing. You need a lot of awareness. And what you need to learn doesn't come from your mind. You cannot analyze from your mind what is the lesson I need to learn. When you empty the mind, you see the lessons are from the soul. It's a soul lessons. The soul wants to learn the lessons. So that's why meditation becomes very important. When in meditation, you empty your mind. When you empty your mind, your awareness. See, for most of the people who are non-meditators, they're stuck in the body-mind consciousness. But when you start meditating, then your awareness comes back, goes beyond your body, your awareness goes beyond your mind, and your awareness is on the soul, yourself. So the moment your mind is empty, your awareness by default goes to your heart, yourself. So when your awareness is in yourself, connected to yourself, then you realize the soul lessons. Soul lessons are not something to be analyzed. Soul lessons are something to be realized. So that's why meditation becomes very, very important. For you to learn the lesson, many people think, I learned the lesson. They analyze, they use their mind. Oh, this happened, that happened. Okay, so analyze it. Okay, this is the end result. Maybe this is the lesson. No, that's not right. Soul lessons are when your mind is totally empty, you realize, okay, this is the lesson I need to learn. That realization comes from within, out of nowhere, without you making an effort. That's why meditation becomes necessary for enlightenment. It's not a choice.
Beautiful, sir. Beautiful. Got the answer. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes. Next, Nitin.
Hi, this is Nitin from Bangalore. I had a question. So while meditating, how do I know whether the message is from the mind or from the soul?
Okay, this is a very interesting question. How do you know you are in love?
You just know it. Yeah.
That's the answer. You just know it. Because if it is from the mind, you know it is from the mind. If it is from your soul, your whole being resonates. You know it. Okay. So don't be confused. And sometimes, this is a misunderstanding people have. Sir, I got an experience in my meditation. I think there is a message in it. How do I decode the message? Or you say, okay, I got a dream and I feel there is a message for me in the dream. How do I decode it? If you are getting a message from your higher self, from your soul, or from higher masters, it is their job to make sure the message reaches you. Okay, if I have to send you a letter, I have to send you a parcel, a courier, it is my responsibility to make sure it reaches you, not your responsibility. So when you receive something, a message, when you receive a message, that means you realize something, you have a certain understanding. That's what it means. You are receiving a message simply means you have a certain realization, you have a certain understanding. And without you making any effort, and you realize something, that is the message for you from your higher self. And when you try to make an effort, when you try to use your mind, when you try to use your intelligence to decode it, then you miss the point. That's not the message for you. Even you got the message, you will mess it up. Okay. Got it, sir?
Thank you.
Yes. All right. So next, Savita. Yes, madam.
Hello.
Yes, madam. Can you be please a bit louder? Your voice is not audible.
Good morning, sir. I'm Savita from Delhi. My question is that I have a son who has been divorced recently. Now, I always feel that I have not been a good mother, a mature mother rather, because of circumstances he had been away from me during his schooling. And now I find myself that I could have stopped it. I feel guilty because I have no issues with either my daughter-in-law or my son, but because of their separation now, I feel I could not be a mature and a responsible mother. How do I come out of this guilt? I have inferiority complexes. I felt when you told yesterday about the superiority of the inferiority complexes. I feel I cannot, do a certain thing. I cannot reach my goal. I leave it within. I mean, after a few days, I'll do a thing, then I will stop. But now, since I've started meditation since last 2 years, I am continuing it. And I'm realizing that this is my drawback. I have to come over it.
Your very realization that you are having certain complexes, the very identification is the key. Since you have identified it, 50% of the problem is already solved. Now, another 50%, you need to do a little more meditation. Be patient, have patience. And it's more important that you don't feel guilty. Guilt is like a poison to the soul. Okay. You cannot take responsibility for others' affairs. You can take responsibility only for yourself, not for others. You have to understand that you have done your best. Whatever the situation, you have done your best. Past is past. What you can do best today, that is in your hands. Past is not in your hands. Past is past. Gatam gatam. So what you can this moment is in your hands. So focus on that. And the moment you feel guilt, any kind of guilt, immediately take it off, immediately erase it. You tell yourself, I don't need to feel guilty, I have done my best. The moment you allow the guilt energy to come in, it takes over you, it poisons you. So you have to be very, very careful. Okay, madam?
Thank you, sir.
Right. So, Ritesh.
Yeah, namaste, sir. Namaste to all the masters. First of all, thank you, sir, for bringing such an interesting topic. It's really very interesting topic, this ego. In my case, I have observed that ego comes when I do a series of good karma. Now, theoretically, I understand that this good karmas, I am not doing the good karma. I am being used as a medium to do the good karma. And for practical understanding, I am also aware that I need to increase my awareness level, that I am just being used as a medium to do this good karma. So until the time that happens, could there be a scientific explanation of this fact that I am not doing the good karma, and while I am being used as a medium to do the good karma? Is a scientific explanation possible? Yeah, that's my question, sir.
Who is asking the scientific explanation? Your soul or your mind? Your soul knows the truth. That is the quality of the truth. When you listen to the truth, you resonate with it. From deep within your consciousness, you feel, yes, it is right. So your soul already knows the truth. It is your mind which takes you round and round. Be aware of that.
Okay. Okay. So with the increased awareness levels, the understanding should automatically come that I am just a medium. Good.
Try to be more of a witness of your own mind, of your own thought patterns. The solutions are from within. Your mind always wants answers from outside, but the answers are within you.
Okay.
But unless you go into a space of stillness, unless you go into a space of witnessing, you cannot realize the answers. So you might ask the question, if all the answers are outside, then why are you answering the questions? My answering the questions is to trigger you to find your own answers, to encourage you to find your own answers.
Yeah, got it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next, Sheetal.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, Sheetal.
Sir,
Be short and precise, and whatever the question you ask, you know my answer.
so whenever someone hurts me by their words purposefully, I see to that I gave him such a reply that he is equally or more hurt. So, and if I don't do this, I feel angry. So, and if suppose the person is the boss, I feel like crying. And suppose the person is the colleague, then I feel very angry unless I give him the same reply. Is that okay? Means being so reactive after being a meditator.
Yes, because when you react, when you give tit for tat, your ego feels good. Your ego feels good. Yes, I've given back him. Your ego feels good. I'm not vulnerable. I'm not weak. I'm equally strong, because that is what your identity. And your ego feels good when you give the reply back in the equal way. But if it is your boss, you cannot give back because you know you will lose your job. So that's why you are going in between this. You see, you have to understand, if you want to work on your ego, you should come out of the reactive mode. Don't react. If you really work on your ego, and if you really want enlightenment, don't react. Respond to the situation. To respond to the situation, you need a lot of awareness, you need a lot of witnessing. When somebody tries to hurt you, you don't react. Take a deep breath and just see what is happening within you and what is happening around you. Is it necessary to react? or not? There are many times you don't need to react. You just need to respond. Somebody says, "Oh, Sheetal, you did such a ugly thing. You never did your work properly." You don't need to react. "No, no, sir, I did my best." No, you don't need to react. You respond. "Okay, I heard you, but give me in details where exactly I went wrong so that I can improve upon myself. I'm ready to improve, but give me details." So that is responding. So try to respond, not to react. That is more important. Got it?
Yes. So one more thing, sir. So during journaling, when we write lot of thoughts, I'm scared that if it gets manifested, like we should write it in a positive way, so that it happens
See,
once.
I asked you to do the journaling of, for example, if you're in Mauna practice, you want to express, you are motivated to express, but you cannot express because you are in silence. So that time you write the thought and you say, okay, whatever is the thought, whatever is the emotion, you're writing down and you're saying, it's okay, fine. I have addressed you and I'll get back to you. So that you are offloading your burden so that you are not stuck in that loop during that Mauna practice. Okay, but you might feel a certain agitation, you might feel certain emotions in that point. But when you have addressed it and later on, when you go back to it and say, oh, now I don't feel it. Now I find it very silly. But at that time I felt silly, but now I don't feel silly. So what you do, what all the negative things you have written, you tear the paper, tear it into pieces and say, okay, I let go. So you let go. That's why it is important to journal and get back to what you have written and let go of it so that you are not manifesting it.
So one more thing, sir. So how to get contentment in life when you have when you know you have unlimited potential? Like through meditation, we know we can do unlimited. We can do how much we can. So
what's your question?
there is the like when we do a lot, we know through meditation, like we can we have unlimited potential. So how to draw a line between sufficient and greed, like how to get contentment?
Do more meditation. You know where to stop. You know what to do, what not to do. Do more meditation. That's the answer. All right. So next we will Sweta Chilakala. Please on your video.
Morning, sir. My name is Shweta. I'm from Bangalore. Thank you so much, sir, for this valuable session. And so, my question is: I am an inferiority complex person. So, if I'm going to visit some place or I'm going to visit some person, that I know they are triggering my ego. So, can I avoid that place or persons?
Face it. The moment you know somebody is hurting their ego, you face them again and again. And consciously, you tell yourself, the pain I go through is not me, it's my ego. And I'm not going to be affected by it. I will witness it. So get into the witness mode and face the situation. Don't avoid the situations. Don't escape, face it. The more you face it, the more it helps you to come out of it.
While meditating, we'll get energy, right? So how to use that energy properly?
The silly question. While meditating, you get energy. How to use that energy? Okay. Next question. Chetna.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, madam.
I've been these 3 days of ego thing. There's been a lot of search going on within me, and I feel, at a certain level, I'm calming down a lot. There is some understanding happening, but there is a lot more to understand. And I listened to your yesterday's and day before yesterday video also at least once more, both the days. And I feel I really need to listen to these videos again and again and again to get even a deeper understanding. So is there any more way, like there is, there is this feeling also that I need to understand myself even better. There are, I can see there are certain traces of, in fact, more traces of superiority complex within me, and certain traces of inferiority complex also. And but I really need to know ki exactly kahan pe kya, kis moment pe kya ho raha hai, and am I able to shed that at that moment or not? So that is one thing. And another thing is I will be traveling from tomorrow onwards, and I'm going for Vipassana. So I will be away from any kind of, you understand, like I will not be accessing my phone and all. So I will be away from this session also, which is, I really don't know. I don't want to have a break also. So maybe, if I continue with this session after this Vipassana gets over, so is this Vipassana going to help me strengthen this journey, or I'm a bit confused about it. So if you could
It's going to
please.
help you. Vipassana, when you go to Vipassana courses, they make you do Anapanasati meditation only.
Yes.
So that helps to raise your awareness. So it will help you. So theoretical understanding doesn't help you. The practice helps you.
Yes.
So even for this weekend, we are going to do more meditation, and everybody is going to experiment mindfulness and detox and mauna and silence. So your Vipassana will help you. But I just want to give a small clarity. That is the so-called Vipassana, whatever the course you are going to join. It is Kayanupasana, not Vipassana. But they think it is Vipassana. They start correctly. They start with Anapanasati, observing the breath, and then they go to graduate to observe the energy movements in the body.
Okay.
And they are stuck there.
Okay.
So, but Vipassana means first is Anapana, the second is Kayanupasana. That means you witness the energy movements in the body. You witness your etheric body, your energy body. That is Kaya. Kaya means body. That is Kayanupasana. That means you become a witness to all the activities in the body. Vipassana means you go beyond the body and beyond the mind. You get into a metaphysical. That means your third eye, perfecting your third eye is Vipassana. But in the Goenka's Vipassana courses, they say, okay, be with your breath and witness the energy moments and stay there. So that's why you see in most of the Vipassana courses, people feel a lot of healing. Participants, they feel a lot of healing. Their awareness increased and they feel a lot of healing. But zero cases of enlightenment. Okay. So because when you are stuck in the body level, how can you go beyond the body? How can you experience your soul aspect? So with that understanding, you go to Vipassana course. The Goenka's course is very good to have a certain discipline.
Yes.
And to do intense meditation, it is very good. So they will say, witness the body. But you witness the body and the energy flow and come back to the breath again. If energetically something is happening within your body, you witness it, but come back to the breath. Again and again, come back to the breath. In that way, you are going to utilize the Vipassana course to the fullest possible extent.
Yes, sir. So for me, this is my first ever Vipassana thing. And whatever meditation, in fact, I've been doing very regularly since I joined you. And otherwise also, after this session also, I do at least once or twice a day. So, but my thing is, so that in that way, like my regularity has just started, from past 1 week since I joined you. But the attention is still, drifting very, very badly here and here, there. I have to make a lot of effort.
That is natural for everybody, madam. That is natural for everybody.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
it takes a lot of practice.
In that sense, like Vipassana is going to be a little, for me, as a first step, is going to bring a little more discipline into me, perhaps.
No, Vipassana helps everybody. Vipassana is a nice course. It helps everybody.
Yes.
But the only thing which is missing is You have to come back to the breath. They begin the right way, but they finish on a wrong note. So when you're able to come back to your breath, the finishing should be observing the breath. The beginning should be observing the breath, and the finishing also should be observing the breath. So then you are totally detached. You are in the present moment. You are detached from your body. You are detached from your energy body, physical body, energy body. Then you can access the subtle bodies. Then your third eye becomes, the perfection of the third eye happens. You understand yourself. The realization happens.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, so we'll take Pushpu Dakshini again. Raise your hand. I think she's not. All right, so we'll take this final question, Saptarshi Sinha. This will be the last question for today, and we are taking, in detail, we are taking extra time to address your questions because tomorrow and day after, we'll be focusing only on meditation. And Sunday is again an equinox. You have to utilize maximum time. And tomorrow you're going to practice silence and mindfulness. Tomorrow, day after. So we'll have another interactive session on Monday on a new topic that you integrate. This weekend, you fully integrate. Okay. So the final question of the day.
Yeah. So very good morning, Master. My name is Saptarshi Sinha, and I am from Bangalore. So like I started just 4 days back, and I have a question. I think you might have also answered it, but still I wanted to know that that every time I am, let's say, focusing on the breath, the mind means continuously is going somewhere else. Means it is like some thoughts which is there in the mind, it will come up, and then again I have to push back, and again it is happening very constantly. Like it is there has not been a point where I can say that okay, for most of the time my focus is on the breath. So is there anything I need to do so that all these thoughts that is coming, I don't, means it doesn't like bother me, but because it is happening very frequently. So is there anything
that is the case for every beginner of meditation. So don't be worried about the thoughts.
Okay.
So the answer is don't focus on your thoughts. Don't be worried about your thoughts. And don't be upset about your thoughts. Just the moment you notice any thought, come back to your breath. Again and again, come back to your breath. You have to be really calm, cool, peaceful. No expectations. You are just closing your eyes and making an effort to be with your breath, normal, natural breath. And in that process, you notice thoughts again and again, you notice thoughts. Again and again, you come back to your breath. As simple as that.
Thank you.
And have no expectations. Have no expectations that you need to experience the empty mind. You need to experience that bliss. You need to experience that peace. No, don't have these expectations. If you have these expectations, then you are still in the mind. That will lead you to frustration sooner or later, and you will drop out of this practice. You will get demotivated and you will say, oh, I'm doing it for so many months, but still I'm having thoughts. Maybe this technique is not for me. You will go to some other technique. That's the way the mind works. The mind doesn't let you to empty the mind. So it is very important. Your attitude should be, I don't care how many thoughts come. But the moment I notice the thoughts, I'll immediately come back to the breath. That's all I'm going to do. Let the thoughts come 1,000 times. All the 1,000 times I'll come back to my breath. If you have this attitude, then meditation happens to you. Yes. All right, friends. Thank you very much. And tomorrow we will gather and we are going to do intense meditation for 90 minutes. And day after tomorrow, also 90 minutes. But tomorrow and day after, I assume and I believe you are going to sincerely experiment with all your silence and mindfulness and detox. So tomorrow and day after, we will do an intense crystal meditation. So we'll connect to the energies of the crystal and we'll meditate intensely. Thank you very much. Namaste to all.
Thank you, Master Pradeep. That was just a wonderful session about ego. You actually answered for the questions which we all also had in our mind, even though we did not ask them. Thank you so much. The way you answered was like, okay, you have an ego. So we were able to understand even our own ego. So thank you very much. And thank you for the meditation tomorrow and day after. Dear masters, please join in at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Anandiji.